Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's Cynicalex, and today I want to speculate on the possibility of getting a WandaVision update. Now, this is not something that I've talked about in a video directly and exclusively, because until now, I haven't really been sure that Marvel really wants to promote their Disney Plus shows in their video games. But we saw Superwar getting uniforms for Vision and Scarlet Witch that are, you know, basically the sort of 50s outfits that you see basically from episode 1. But now with the show sort of building up to its final episode, which is like less than a week away, which is pretty exciting, it's starting to line up with the MFF update cycle. Like if you take a look at the Future Past, it's got 10 days left. And in 6 days, we're going to see the last episode, which means like 4 days after that, 4 or 5 days after that, we could be and should be getting around our first sneak peek, which could definitely be that. And the more I thought about it, the more it sort of made sense with other things being able to line up with that. So I want to talk about that. Just a huge warning at the beginning, huge PSA, there will be 100% spoilers up to the very latest episode. I hate to do this to you guys after like only 48 hours of the episode being out. I apologize, but I'd rather get this video out sooner than later because it just fits my schedule and it's just fun to talk about. You can always stop watching here and then come back and watch it after you've seen the episode. No harm. You know, I won't be offended by it, but while it's fresh in my mind, especially the episode wise, I want to dissect it and sort of chop it up with you guys. And it's more fun to talk about it once you've seen it with people who have also seen it when it's fresh in their minds. So yeah, big spoilers coming up for basically everything that's happened in WandaVision thus far. I don't have any advanced knowledge of anything else that's going to happen in the show, so I can't spoil that, obviously. But yeah, so here we go. I want to just go through basically as much as I can and speculate on the possibility of getting uniforms and or upgrades for specific characters, and then possibly talk about brand new characters. Let me just start off by saying, however, that we have seen none of the versions of Vision. Well, this one is the closest one because this is the Age of Ultron Vision. So we've technically seen this one in the show, but even this one doesn't look anything like, and neither does this one, anything like the Visions that we've seen in the show thus far. And same thing goes for Scarlet Witch. Despite her having multiple looks, the closest one that we've seen in the show is maybe this one, to be honest with you. And maybe we'll see something like this. So I think the first thing we could honestly get as sort of a gag would be the Halloween outfits that they get. Again, it's out there. It's out of left field. It's not necessarily the most obvious thing that they would do, but it's something that could be in Marvel Future Fight's wheelhouse. We know they like experimenting with different looks for uniforms, so this could definitely be something up their alley. Another thing we could get, well, this one we're jumping right into the end here. Another thing we could get for Vision, wow, I really didn't plan this out to jump right ahead to the last episode. But anyways, at the very end of the last episode, we see basically Sword has been building, they put together their own Vision, and they've been able to power it and turn it on using Wanda's Hex magic, which we're starting to find out is more than just Hex magic. It's a little bit deeper and more mythological. Anyways, this version of Ultron is very, very similar to this version. It's basically this version of Ultron in the comics. I think this version of Ultron is called White Ultron. It may have some other names, but essentially, I haven't read the comics run from this one, but essentially this is Vision minus the Wonder Man memories. I think it's Wonder Man, and he has no emotional attachment to Wanda or Scarlet Witch. So he's basically just like a colder, more robotic sort of sentient version of Vision, not Ultron. Sort of like back when he first started, right? Like at the very beginning of Age of Ultron, you're not actually sure if Vision's a good guy or a bad guy. Like he comes out and he's like walking around and he's like, yeah, I'm alive, whatever. Like I'm this and I'm that. I'm a synthezoid. But he's not like gung ho to be a good guy right off the bat, right? So it's more along the lines of that. Obviously, with that guy Hayward or whatever his name giving him instructions or telling him what to do or feeding his brain with lies, we're probably going to see a much more aggressive, much less friendly version of Vision in the show. But we could see, for example, a uniform that turns him into a universal villain. That's definitely a possibility for Vision, which I think is pretty cool. Scarlet Witch, on the other hand, in that last episode, we get this first look, this first glimpse at her with the sort of crown, which is the very iconic look for Scarlet Witch. So I definitely think that they could do something that kind of combines the classic look that we have here and this one, right? Because this one looks more like Elizabeth Olsen, and this one just looks more like a comic book accurate Scarlet Witch. So I think if they did something along the lines of this in Marvel Future Fight, it would probably make the most sense. This is probably what I would guess we would get. You know, the most obvious or the most likely option is probably something like this, which is a fusion of existing uniforms already. For Vision, could be this one. Could just be like a generic Vision, like a much more a modern, updated version of this type thing, because he doesn't actually look exactly like this anymore in the show. So they could just do a new take on this, and this is a very high-end model. Like if you look, it actually still retains a lot of detail. The face is a little stiff, but otherwise. Yeah, he looks like he's, honestly, this character model is weird. It looks like he's in pain. It looks like he has really bad back pain, and he's just like, oh. Anyways, but yeah, they could almost just brush him up. That's kind of thing with Wanda and Vision. Wanda does look quite a bit different, but Vision, you know, it's not really that much different from what we've already seen in the show compared to what we have already in the game. Moving on from those, I think there's a possibility, small possibility, we could get, wow, this is like massively cut off. We could get a new uniform for Quicksilver. It's unlikely, again, because he has a lot of these uniforms are a bit unlikely because we've seen very similar iterations of them, but at the same time, like, they could, right? But we do have this one here, which is pretty similar to what he's rocking with his costume. It would just be the face being different and the hair being more accentuated, right? It's a bit exaggerated comic book style. Besides that, honestly, if they wanted to, they could do the X-Men version. I wouldn't mind that at all. We don't see that in the show, really. We sort of see it when he first knocks on Wanda's door, but who knows? It's Marvel Future Fight. They can do whatever they want. So that's it for basically new uniforms for characters. We could see, I don't want to talk about it too much, but we could see a uniform, an updated uniform for Wiccan where he has that bandana on his head. I would really like that personally, but the thing is, he's de-aged in the show massively compared to what he is in the game. So they could do it. They could do anything, right? But it's unlikely. It's unfortunate because this is as close as we've ever gotten to getting a uniform for Wiccan. I doubt it, but it's possible. You know, it is possible. I wanted to bring it up just because Wiccan needs love. As far as speed goes, it's basically zero. We're not going to get a kid added to the game, especially when he's just going to play exactly like Quicksilver, except it's a kid. It'll just be kind of weird seeing him punching and kicking you in the shins or in the crotch. As far as uniforms, I think that's probably about it for new uniforms. They could do synergy uniforms. Like, they could really take it in a lot of different directions. But what's a bit more exciting for me from WandaVision is characters. There's 2 female characters that we could be getting. And Marvel Future Fight has kind of been lacking really strong female characters, which is kind of why people were so hyped for Rogue. So we could get a universal villain or a blast villain like Agatha, right? Agatha Harkness. She could absolutely be a character that gets released in the game. And it's funny because they foreshadowed her being a witch here. Just a quick nod to the show. But originally, Agatha looks a bit more dusty. She looks very typical of what you would consider like an old Salem witch. She's got her black cat, she's got her long nails. So they could give her a sort of default uniform and then a, you know, sort of movie Disney Plus uniform. That's definitely a possibility, right? Shout out to this actress, I can't remember her name now, but she's amazing as Agatha. That's one new character that we could get. We could also get Monica Rambeau. This is the one that I'm honestly the most excited about because it opens the door the most to existing characters that we've already gotten updates about. So bear with me here, but Monica Rambeau, daughter of Maria Rambeau, is Spectrum, and she has really cool. She's like a better version of Captain Marvel, basically. She's really, really strong. Some could even say that she is too powerful for the MCU. But yeah, Spectrum is, you know, massively strong. She can basically like transform herself into different wavelengths of light and energy. So bullets can just go through her, and she can travel at the speed of light. She's super powerful. Of course, she's got the energy photons going on, but she's mega powerful. What's even more interesting, so we could absolutely get a Monica Rambeau character. What's even better is she joins a bunch of teams. She helps out the Avengers, yada yada yada. But she's one of the members of this new Ultimates group. And this is significant for multiple reasons. Of course, you're very familiar because we got an update with America Chavez, Blue Marvel, and then Ant-Man and Nova. But look who's in the background there, Galactus. Galactus was one of the top 10 most voted characters to come to Marvel Future Fight. So the pieces start to fall into place. They could do a commemorative uniform upgrade and super power bump for Black Panther. They could give America Chavez a hooded uniform and just buff her to be, you know, relevant because she was actually kind of garbage when she came out. They could even give Captain Marvel a new ponytail uniform with a little sash. But this, honestly, I think has the most potential to be massive. So they could do like a 2-part update. Part 1 is WandaVision with a uniform for, you know, Wanda and Vision, and a tier 3 or an awakening for Vision. And then part 2 could be Monica, Agatha, and then all of these Ultimates things. And just recently, I believe it was in the last update, or maybe it was 2 updates ago, they gave the Ultimates the ability to go to level 70. So we are... Yikes. Anyway, so we are, you know, you can see I can search for potential. I haven't been searching for potential, excuse me, but I think maybe just for Nova I searched for potential. Yeah, I got him to level 70, like father, like son. I think he was early. I think he got his level 70 way earlier than the other 2 cats. But anyways, they just got theirs not long ago. So we could absolutely get a uniform here for Mr. Bashir, and that rhymes. And yeah, I think this is the best one. I was really excited to talk to you guys about this one because it's really dope. Obviously, this has the smallest, the tiniest connection to WandaVision because it's literally just Monica. But yeah, but I mean, that's the thing. They could go in so many different directions with this show. This show keeps mentioning Mephisto with the fly and all the symbolism and stuff. So they could go in that direction as well. We could finally get Mephisto, who was teased in Damnation. On the flip side, because of all this talk about Vision and all this talk about Quicksilver, it's heavily referencing Age of Ultron. So we could see an update in a uniform and possibly a tier 3 for the original Tin Can. There's so many ways that this update could go that it actually gets me really hype. Where originally I was very hesitant and pessimistic, and I was like, yeah, you know, I don't think they're gonna do the Disney Plus shows. I think they're just gonna let it, you know, they're not gonna do it as far as an update goes. But seeing that Marvel Future Fight has not released a new character in 2 updates, it seems like they may be saving all of the new characters for Marvel content, because we know there's a lot of Marvel content coming, right? We're slated to get Shang-Chi, Spider-Man, No Way Home, Eternals. That's just movies, and that's just this year. That's 3 movies with potentially, who knows, 5, 10, 15 characters. Like if they do all of the Eternals, plus a couple of villains from Spider-Man, plus a couple of guys in Shang-Chi. Like we already have Shang-Chi and Spider-Man, I know that, but that right there could be like a dozen plus characters. So they might be, you know, front loading these updates without new characters in order to save the really banger ones for these iconic characters that are appearing now on screen, which could include Agatha and Disney Plus characters. Like we could be getting people from Falcon and Winter Soldier and other shows that are, I mean, is Loki releasing this year? I can't remember, but yeah, you sort of get what I'm saying. So I'm personally kind of excited. I don't want to get too excited. I'm not too excited. I'm kind of excited because, like I was saying earlier in the video yesterday, I love Molecule Man's skills. Wanda and Agatha could have some pretty dope animations if they were to come to the game, and even Vision, honestly, with all the intangibility. So yeah, I mean, even that little stationary thing that he does in and of itself is super duper cool. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. How good is WandaVision? It's insanely good. Please don't spoil it down below in the comments. Please be careful with what you say down below in the comments. But yeah, hit me up in the comments and let me know what you think of the ideas and of the possibility. Do you want to see a WandaVision update or not? If not, what do you want to see? And if not this one, do you want to get a Falcon and Winter Soldier update? Or maybe both? Yeah, I would like both. Anyways, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.